This is a graveyard of good intentions, wasted hours, and brilliant ideas that went nowhere. And it's all because the single most important rule of innovation has been ignored. For decades, we've been told a story, a gospel preached from the lecture halls of Stanford to the boardrooms of the Fortune 500. The story is that to innovate, you must empathize with the user. You must talk to your customers. But that gospel is wrong. It sends you to drink from a poisoned well, the shifting, biased, and hopelessly unreliable well of human opinion. In this video, we're going to dismantle that story. I'll prove to you why starting with the customer is a strategic trap that leads to incrementalism and ultimately to failure. And then I'll give you the new playbook, a rigorous scientific method that replaces customer opinion with the fundamental, unchanging physics of the problem itself. This is the shift that separates guessing from engineering. The primary tool of design thinking's empathy phase is the user persona. Meet Sarah, 35, a busy mom from the suburbs who enjoys yoga and is concerned about sustainability. This is an act of statistical malpractice. A persona is a composite of correlations, an average of attributes that represents no actual living human. It leads you to build for a fictional median, a ghost, while ignoring the sharp, jagged edges of reality where problems live. You are building for a statistical myth. The second tool is the customer interview, and this is where the process becomes truly unscientific. When you interview a user, you're not a scientist gathering pure data. You're a victim of their cognitive biases and your own. They are anchored to their current solution, unable to imagine a world outside of it. They suffer from the availability heuristic, dramatically overvaluing their most recent or vivid frustrations. And you, the researcher, you suffer from confirmation bias, subconsciously hunting for the quotes that validate the idea you already have. The entire process is a ritual designed to reinforce existing beliefs, not discover new truths. This all leads, inevitably, to the faster horse problem. And let me be clear, this isn't a clever aphorism. It is a fundamental boundary on innovation. A user can only describe their struggle in the context of the tool they are currently using. You're asking for feedback on a solution, not on the underlying job. You're locking yourself into their reality, their sandbox, and that sandbox is a graveyard for breakthrough innovation. To fix this, to escape the sandbox, we must be ruthlessly precise with our language. You've likely heard of the term jobs to be done. You've probably also heard its popular definition, the progress a person is trying to make in a circumstance. Let me be clear, that popular definition is a misleading and dangerous oversimplification. It's the primary reason most jobs to be done projects still fail, devolving into another form of creative writing and storytelling. A job is not a story, it's not a feeling, and it's not a subjective goal. A job is a solution-agnostic functional process. It is a stable, unchanging map of what objectively needs to be accomplished, independent of who is doing it or how it's being done. It is the physics of the task. So, where do the messy human details, the circumstances, fit in? They're not the job. They're the constraints under which the job must be executed. A constraint is the source of friction, the source of a struggle. Think of the job as a perfect, straight paved road. Innovation is not about redefining the road. The road is the road. Innovation is about systematically removing the boulders, straightening the turns, and building shelter from the storm. So if we don't start by talking to people, where do we start? We start with first principles. We stop being sociologists and we start being physicists. We analytically deconstruct the domain down to its core unchanging axioms. These are the rules of the game that exist whether we or our customers are aware of them or not. This is where the process becomes truly powerful. We now use AI, not as a creative partner to brainstorm with, but as a pure logic engine. We feed it these immutable axioms, and we command it to deduce the most logically sound, complete, and perfect job map, the ideal sequence of steps for executing the job. The AI also generates the corresponding success metrics for each step. These are not opinions or preferences, they're the mathematical definition of a perfect outcome. Metrics like minimize the time to retrieve any specific asset to less than a second. This map is our objective benchmark, our source of truth. It's the blueprint for perfect, completely and utterly free of human bias. Let's make this real. Imagine two teams, both with the same brilliant people, the same budget, and the same mandate: innovate in the world of personal finance. Team Empathy starts the old way. They conduct dozens of user interviews. They synthesize their findings into a persona, Millennial Mike, a 28-year-old who feels anxious and overwhelmed by his finances. They hear him complain that his banking app is cluttered and that he feels bad when he spends money. Their big idea? A new budgeting app. It has a calming color palette, it sends mindful spending notifications, and it gamifies savings goals with cute animations. They've built a better feature, a nicer user interface. They've polished a faster horse. Team Principles starts the new way. They ignore the user completely. They lock themselves in a room and deconstruct the job, allocate capital to maximize future well-being. They identify the axioms, the mathematical laws of compound interest, the principles of risk diversification, the hard constraints of tax law. They feed these axioms to the AI. The AI generates the perfect objective job map for capital allocation. They now have a blueprint for truth. Only then do they look at the real world. They use their map to find the real struggle, and they find it. They discover that people consistently, catastrophically fail at one key step in the process: accurately assessing the risk profile of illiquid assets, things like private equity, collectibles, or their own startup equity. No budgeting app on earth solves this. It's a completely unmet need. So they innovate a new tool powered by AI that does just that. They create an entirely new category of financial planning. One team built a better feature, the other built the future. The reason everyone is secretly quitting design thinking is that they are tired of building better features. They're tired of optimizing for opinions. They are tired of innovation theater. The paradigm has shifted. The old way was based on sociology, the study of people. It's a soft science and its findings are subjective. The new way is based on epistemology, the study of knowledge itself, the study of the truth of the problem. The goal is no longer to guess what people want. It's to know, with analytical certainty, what perfect looks like, and then to systematically engineer away the constraints that prevent people from achieving it. If you're ready to stop guessing and start engineering, if you're ready to build on the foundation of truth, then this is the playbook. I've written an exhaustive 8,000-word manifesto that breaks down this entire process. It's a step-by-step guide to deconstruction, AI-powered mapping, and strategy. It's the definitive guide, and the link is in the description below or in one of the comments.